So it's day 3, 0 to hero. I messed up the whole day. Woke up at 9:30, stayed in bed until 11:30. Now I just got out. I cleaned my room. Right now I'm gonna just do some core exercises, some push-ups. You know, get myself a little active so I could shower, get myself ready, so I could study calculus. I need to finish at least 8.1 and 8.2 today. I have to finish those 2 lessons today to the max. I have to make sure I understand them perfectly. And then after I finish those 2 lessons, I'm going to start working towards try to start working towards my invention of ECE, EEE. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it, what I'm going to call it. But I know I'm definitely going to have Altitawi and perhaps cleaning in there. But definitely Altitawi. Definitely my last name will be in the title. I'm going to start seeing on what I'm supposed to do, what I can do. I'm going to try to get a meeting with one of the aquatic supervisors as what they think about the idea, as what I should do. But, this is day 3. And, so far it hasn't been a good start. My 3 days, they've all been lousy. I haven't studied. I've just been a bum. I went to the beach. I went to the cinemas. Watched Final Destination. I did everything but improve myself. I've just been going down. I've been the same. I'm the same right now as the people that are going to the parties. I'm just doing it differently. There's no difference between me and them. I mean, they might be drinking, they might be smoking, they might be doing things like that, but what's the difference? At the end of the day, neither me or them are getting better. None of us are improving. I'm just staying at home like a bum. There's no difference from me going and not going. They went to AP. It's been 3 days. What's made me get ahead of them in those 3 days? Nothing. I'm still the same. I'm still the exact same. And they're the exact same, but at least they got closer with people. At least they connected with other people in our grade, which is better than nothing. I just connected with the same people I've been connecting with for the past 4 or 5 years, which isn't bad, but it's horrible because what am I doing? I have a test that I have to write. I relied on my friend for the last chemistry test completely. I have things I need to work on. I have things I need to do. I have a calculus test that I missed, that I skipped. I have a chemistry test that I need to get ready on. I have to write my chemistry essay. I have to get ready. I have 3, 4 more tests for calculus, and I'm still not done calculus. Job's not finished. I'm not in what I want to be in. I wanted to get an engineering. I got waitlisted. That's basically a no. So what's wrong with me? I've been watching all these videos. I've been imagining. I've just been in bed listening to music, imagining where I want to be. And the more I think about it, the further I am from where I want to be. The people I want to be talking with, the people I want to be conversating with, the people I want to make deals with, they're too far away for me to even touch their hand to get their attention. I can't even yell to get their attention. That's how far away they are from me. It's like when you see someone ahead of you, sometimes you're able to yell out their name, maybe even touch them if you're too close, but sometimes you're able to yell out their name, yell out something to get their attention. But I'm so far away that I can't do anything to get their attention no matter what I do. And I need to realize that I need to start putting in the work to get to where I need to be to even get their attention, to start doing what I want to do. Because everybody might just thinking about just crypto, stocks, online money, that the opportunities that are in their face is just slipping away. People are working part-time jobs just so they can make money. That's not the point of part-time jobs. To start at the lowest is so you can understand how the foundation of businesses work and to understand how they work. And once you start from the bottom, making your way up to the top is easier than starting from the middle. Because once you start from the bottom, you know how things work. You can make ideas to make things work. That's how I got my idea of my invention, I realized how really bad it was, the equipment. Some equipment need to be made, a piece of equipment that's never been thought of, that's never been invented, and it's right in front of our eyes. It's right in front of the people's eyes. It's because people don't use their heads when they're working. When you're working, you need to think, what can I do? I'm not working part-time. I'm not working as a BA just to make money. I'm working as a BA to get the experience. so I could get ideas, so I could make ideas, you know? The people on the top, you know, the people that are in the office when I'm downstairs cleaning, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what needs to be done. They're just up there, they're working on their own stuff. You know, they're on their computers responding to emails, talking to upper management, but they don't know what's going on downstairs. The lifeguards don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the lifeguards, and I don't know what's going on with the people upstairs in the offices. I don't know what they need to make it better. I don't know what ideas they thought, but you know, all I know is that everybody that's working as a lifeguard is just doing it to make money. You know, they're just going to their job and then they come back, they're done work. They don't gain anything but the money they made. And the money you make, money comes and goes. Money, you're gonna have $20, the next day is gonna be gone or it's gonna still be there. Money comes and goes. Experience doesn't. Working, all that doesn't come and go. This just, it stays with you. The experience you work as a BA, it stays with you. And it's gonna stay with you until you die. Unless you forget about it. That's a different story. But as someone working, you know, I wanna work. And even if this idea that I made, this invention that I made, this innovation that I have, and this innovation in these ideas and these products that I'm planning to make and I want to make, once I make those, even if I make millions and millions of dollars, I'm still gonna go somewhere else to work a minimum wage job, so I could see what I could do there too, so I could see what I can invent there too. You know, people my age, everybody, even above me, 10 years older than me, 10 years younger than me, 30 years older than me, you know, they're just thinking about all this online, phone, online, money marketing, Shopify, Etsy, drop shipping, stock market, day trading, gambling, you know, that they're missing the opportunities that's right in front of them. These opportunities are what makes real money, you know, making money off stocks. People can only make money off stocks once they make actual money themselves. You know, you can't just have $100 in your bank account and think you're gonna become a billionaire because you just put it all into Apple stock. No, that's not how it works. You know, if you put $1 million and it goes up 1%, okay, you made yourself money. You know, but that's only if you made $1 million. If you have $200 in it, there's no point. You know, if you have $10,000 in it, you know, still all right. You know, you could go up 2,000-3,000, but what's that gonna do for you realistically? $10,000. You know, it's a lot of money. It could help a lot of people, but you can't buy a car. You can't buy a proper car. You know, you could buy a car, it's going to be bad. You can't buy a house. You can't buy an apartment. You know, you could buy food, but what of value can you really get with $10,000? You can't get anything, no matter what you do. $15,000, $20,000. You know, you only start getting real impactful money once you get up there. And it takes a while to get up there. You know, it's not gonna, like, I'm not gonna be able to get where I want to tomorrow. Not in a month. Probably not even in 3-4 months. But, you know, I'm gonna be further than everybody my age, everybody that's trying to get rich in 2-3 months, because they're not thinking of it properly. They're just watching those Instagram reels talking about this and that. You know, these Instagram reels are it's helping me, but it's not helping them because they just see it. They see people our age with McLarens, with Ferraris, with Bugattis, with APs, with Rolexes on their wrist, and they just see that and they're like, oh, I have to start my own online business. I have to start my own online, because everything's turning to online. People are missing the opportunities that's right in front of them. It's right in front of you. You know, go work part-time, minimum wage. Those jobs are the ones that will give you the opportunities to make millions, hundreds of millions, billions. You know, do you think Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and all those people watched Insta Reels? No, Mark Zuckerberg is the one that made Instagram Reels. You know, he's the one that owns Meta. He's the one that owns Instagram and Facebook. Do you think he was watching little short YouTube clips, seeing, oh, online this, online that? No. He worked it in real life. He was in person. He was in the moment working. Everybody's looking to the future, this, that, that. Everybody's looking for the next Bitcoin. They're not looking for the next Apple. They're looking for the next Bitcoin. They're looking for the next cryptocurrency. They're looking for the next wave on the stock market. That they're missing everything that's right in front of them. You know, Nike, Adidas, you know, cleaning companies. I don't know the names, but I'm gonna research my competition. You know, I don't see anybody in it. I don't see too many people in it. No, because people don't look at the markets. People just see this and that online, and then they follow their footsteps. Once you follow in someone else's footsteps, the money they made along the way has been all taken up. You know, a clean path that's already taken is gone. There's no, you can't go down that path. You can make some money, but you won't be where you want to be, where you aspire to be. You know why? Because it's already all taken up. You know, one person goes down it, 1,000 people go down it, 1,000,000 people go down it. When it's your turn to go down it, there's gonna be nothing left. You have to make your own path. You have to be the first person to take the path. You have to be the first person to walk down that path to make that money. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to be someone that goes into the wilderness and makes my own path. I don't want to walk on a pre-made path, on a pre-made road. I want to make my own road. I want to make my own journey. I want to have my own journey. And I want people to see this, you know, when in 5, 4, 3 years, when I'm in my 20s, 21, 22, and once I get famous enough and successful enough to appear on these Insta Reels, I want to see this clip on it. I want people to watch this and to learn. It's about your mentality and what you set yourself on, you know? Don't follow other people. Make people follow you. That's how you make money. That's how you get power. That's how you get famous. That's how you achieve what you want to achieve. That's how you achieve your goals. To make people follow you, not you follow people. I'm working a minimum wage job right now. I'm working at the aquatic center as I'm the lowest position you can get. You can't get any lower than a building attendant. You know, lifeguards are higher up than me. Head guards are higher up than me. The cashier that sits on the front of the desk and does nothing all day is higher than me. I can't do anything. You know, I'm a slave. You know, and I'm the bottom of the bottom. And you know, there's a person right now standing at the top, the person that owns everything, the person that owns all of this, you know, and I'm working towards their ideals. I'm keeping their business clean. I'm doing everything for them, you know, and I'm making $17 an hour. How much do you think they're making an hour? 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000, you know? Someone that owns all these places, you know? He doesn't care for people like me. People like me don't come to him, don't face him. Whether I quit, whether I get fired, whether I get a raise, it doesn't matter to him, you know? Because he owns everything. Everybody follows him. Right now, I'm following someone, but I'm not following anyone because everybody else, the lifeguards, are following them because they're just working towards his goals. They're just working for him, and they're just making the money and leaving. They're leaving all the experience behind, but they're keeping all the monetary value. They're keeping the monetary value, but the real value, the real experience, they're letting go for no reason. I'm doing the opposite. I don't care about the money I make. The money I make was going to be used towards new ideals, new ideas, new goals towards me. And I'm going to keep this experience, and I'm going to use this experience to get better. And I'll always do that. I'll always do that, no matter what, you know. I'm going to make my company, and once I become the youngest billionaire or the youngest $100 million, you know, I'm gonna be famous in a year. You know, Abdullah Al Tatawi, headlines on news articles. I'm gonna be on every other Instagram reel you see. It's gonna be Abdullah Al Tatawi, you know, youngest millionaire, or youngest millionaire from Egypt, youngest millionaire from Canada. I'm gonna be everywhere. Millions of articles are gonna be about me. You know, first $100 million made before the age of 20, or kid makes $10 million before he turns the age of 18. I turned 18 December 4th. Right now, it's May 30th. No, it's June 1st. June 1st. I have 6 more months. I have 6 months. And in 6 months, you're going to see where I'm going to be because of the work I'm going to put in. You know, I'm not going to have any time to, you know, enjoy with my friends. You know, yesterday was the final day I was going to do anything with them. I just didn't tell them. You know, right now, I'm not going to have time to hang out with them in the summer. You know, everybody's going to be leaving, but sometimes sacrifices have to be made. I'm going to have to pay the price of not being able to hang out with my friends, not be able to enjoy myself anymore, not be able to do a lot of things, because that's the price. That's the price that it goes with, you know? The place I want to be, the money I want to make, the position I want to be in, this is the price. It's not for free. And the price is social interactions, my friends, you know? They're going to, by a month or two from me not hanging out with them, even 2-3 months, you know, they're just gonna have someone else, you know? They're just gonna forget about me. Not like if I see them, they're gonna remember everything, but, you know, the first week they're gonna be like, "Ah, damn, what," you know? But after that, it's gonna be back to normal, you know? It's all gonna change, you know? And that's just what I wanted to say, you know? Day 3, 0 to hero, you know? Just keep in tune.